Have you ever wondered what happens when a drug comes in contact with its packaging or the medical device that delivers it? Sometimes small chemical substances can migrate out of materials and into the drug, and that's where things can get risky. This is exactly why USP 1663 and 1664 guidelines were created, to make sure that what touches your medicine doesn't harm the patient. In today's session, we'll explore how these guidelines shape extractables and leachables, or E and L, testing, and why following these workflows is absolutely essential for device approval, patient safety, and market success. Let's break it down. USP 1663 focuses on extractables. These are the potential chemicals that could come out of a material when it's pushed to its limits. Think of it like a stress test. High heat, strong solvents, pressure, to see what might leach out under extreme conditions. USP 1664, on the other hand, is all about leachables, substances that actually migrate into the drug during real-world use or storage. Together, they form the backbone of chemical safety evaluation for drug packaging, inhalers, syringes, and combination devices. Following them doesn't just help you pass audits, it proves your product is built on patient safety and global compliance. To make all this work, we follow a structured, step-by-step workflow based on USP 1663 and 1664. It begins with material characterization, moves through extractables testing, simulated use, leachables analysis, and ends with toxicology review and regulatory documentation. Each step builds on the one before it, ensuring nothing is missed, from chemical identification all the way to risk assessment and report submission. First, we start by understanding the materials that make up the device, the polymers, coatings, adhesives, even colorants. Each component tells a story about potential risks. Once that's clear, we perform extractables testing. This is where we intentionally push materials under extreme conditions to uncover what they might release. Using techniques like GC-MS, LC-MS, and ICP-MS, we create a complete chemical fingerprint, identifying everything from volatile organics to trace metals. This forms the baseline for understanding what could potentially leach into a patient's body. Next, we bring the testing closer to reality. We expose the device to real-world conditions, actual drug products, or safe simulants, under realistic temperature, humidity, and storage durations. This helps us understand how materials behave in the real world. Then we move to leachables testing under USP 1664, using long-term or accelerated aging studies. Here, we identify which chemicals truly make their way into the drug and how much. The data directly informs risk assessments for patient exposure. Now comes the most important part, interpretation. All those detected substances are evaluated through toxicological risk assessments, comparing exposure levels against safety thresholds like the Safety Concern Threshold, SCT, and the Threshold of Toxicological Concern, TTC. This helps determine if any detected compounds pose a health risk, from carcinogenic potential to genetic or systemic toxicity. Finally, all this data is translated into a regulatory-ready report. It includes everything: compound lists, safety summaries, and interpretations formatted for FDA, EMA, or Health Canada submissions. A clear, compliant report means faster approvals and fewer regulatory surprises. So why does this all matter so much? Because regulators now expect E and L data aligned with USP 1663 and 1664. Without it, product approvals can stall. or worse, lead to recalls after launch. But beyond compliance, it's about patient safety, ensuring no hidden chemicals ever reach the person using your device. It's also about speed to market, lower costs, and trust, showing that your brand values transparency and global standards. At ResolveMass Laboratories, we've built our entire workflow around USP 1663 and 1664 compliance. Our process is fully validated. Our instruments are state-of-the-art: GC-MS, LC-MS/MS, ICP-MS, UV-VIS, and our reports are tailored to your specific regulatory pathway, whether that's a PMA, NDA, ANDA, or 510K. We don't just give you data, we deliver confidence that your product will meet every global expectation for safety and quality. A strong E&L testing strategy brings tangible benefits: faster approvals through cleaner submissions, reliable data for long-term product monitoring, regulatory readiness, fewer surprises, supply chain transparency, you know every chemical source, and cost savings by catching risks early instead of fixing problems later. In short, a robust E&L strategy protects your brand, your timelines, and most importantly, your patients. As we wrap up, remember, compliance doesn't start with paperwork. It starts with the right science. When you follow USP 1663 and 1664 workflows, you're not just meeting a requirement, you're demonstrating responsibility and excellence. At ResolveMass Laboratories, we help you get there with customized E&L testing, transparent reporting, and world-class expertise. If you're developing a new combination device or simply upgrading an existing one, reach out to us. Let's make your next regulatory submission smoother, safer, and faster. Thank you for watching, and until next time, remember, every safe product begins with the right testing.